Good evening. Jessica Kelly was supposed to take a deal today for nearly 50 years in prison, but the judge rejected that plea, saying Kelly's story of what happened to Victoria Martens didn't match the charges she was pleading to. News 13's Chris McKee was in the courtroom. He's live downtown at District Court.
Yeah, Jessica, this surprise hearing this afternoon ending with that surprise decision from the judge, as prosecutors and defense attorneys thought this was a done deal. Now, Kelly was expected to plead to child abuse resulting in death, aggravated battery, and evidence tampering charges in Victoria's murder. The 10-year-old girl's body was found mutilated and dismembered at the girl and her mom's home, Albuquerque apartment rather, in August of 2016. But during a hearing this afternoon, Judge Charles Brown asked Jessica Kelly, in her words, to explain what happened the night Victoria was killed. Kelly says she was hallucinating on meth and babysitting Victoria, and that at some point the girl went to bed. Also at some point, an unknown man walked into the apartment. Kelly says she thought that man knew her cousin, Fabian Gonzalez, or Victoria's mom, Michelle Martens. Kelly told the court today she didn't think that unknown man would do anything, that anything would happen. But when that man left, she found Victoria dead in her bedroom.
She knew or should have known of the substantial and foreseeable risk that this individual posed to Victoria Martens.
That flies in the face of all reason and common sense. You're asking that Ms. Kelly be somehow a mind reader.
And with that, Judge Brown rejected the plea. That deal would have kept Kelly in jail until she was about 83 years old. But with the judge rejecting it, Kelly is back in jail tonight, awaiting a scheduled trial that is slated to begin in January. Jessica?
All right. Thank you, Chris. The district attorney responded to Judge Charles Brown's ruling about an hour later, saying the court's decision came as unexpected. News 13's Marissa Luceto continues our team coverage and is live at the DA's office with the details. Marissa?
Well, Jess, that's right. DA Raul Torres says this was not something that the state or Jessica Kelly's defense attorney ever anticipated when they walked into court today. Now, in court, Judge Charles Brown denied the defense the opportunity to read a, quote, prepared statement. Instead, he asked Kelly to explain in her words what happened the night Victoria was murdered. And that's when the district court judge told prosecutors he felt Kelly's testimony didn't match up with what she was pleading to. Again, that main charge being child abuse resulting in death. Torres says Jessica and her attorney met with prosecutors a handful of times and that she was well aware of the 6 charges she intended to plead to. The DA still says his office believes this plea agreement is in the best interest of justice.
49 and a half years in the Department of Corrections is a significant term of incarceration. And while not a perfect outcome or something that we had wished, we felt it was necessary given the limitations in some of the missteps that happened earlier on in the investigation.
Because this plea deal requires Kelly to testify against her cousin, Fabian Gonzalez, the DA says they are going to need her cooperation moving forward. He also says that while he respects the judge's decision today, prosecutors will file what's called a motion to reconsider this plea deal once again. Back to you, Jess.
All right. Thank you, Marissa. So what does this mean for Fabian Gonzalez, who is slated to go on trial on October 15th? And now the DA's office has released a formal new narrative of what prosecutors believe happened that night and how they believe put Victoria in danger. Here's News 13's Madeline Schmidt.
Well, Jessica, the statement of facts backs up what Kelly suggested in court today, that another man looking for Gonzalez came to the apartment, killed Victoria, and then threatened Kelly and her kids if she and Gonzalez didn't clean up the crime scene. Prosecutors dropped the rape and murder charges against Gonzalez over the summer, saying new evidence showed Gonzalez and Victoria's mother, Michelle, weren't there for the murder. But Gonzalez is still charged with child abuse resulting in death for putting the girl in a dangerous situation with his cousin, Kelly. a convicted rapist and drug dealer. The statement of facts reiterates this, and it describes in detail how Kelly feared someone was driving by the West Side apartment looking for Gonzalez that night before the unidentified man came upstairs and strangled Victoria, then threatened Kelly. It describes Gonzalez and Martens going on a meth spree before arriving home, and then Kelly and Gonzalez distracting Martens so she didn't know her daughter was dead, having her cook dinner and then putting her to bed so they could dispose of the body in an incredibly gruesome way. In the DA's news conference this afternoon, Raul Torres said Kelly would have been able to testify in Gonzalez's trial had the judge accepted her plea agreement.
As everyone's aware, Fabian Gonzalez's trial is in next month, and so we are still preparing for that. Without Jessica Kelly, that trial becomes far more complicated and far more difficult.
Now, Gonzalez claims he shouldn't be charged for putting Victoria in a dangerous situation because he's not her guardian. Prosecutors point out that Gonzalez cooked for her, called her mija, and even bought her a kitten. Jessica, back to you.
All right, thank you, Madeline. Michelle Martens has already pled to lesser child abuse charges in the death for putting Victoria in danger and is awaiting sentencing. News 13 will continue to cover the latest on this story. We'll have much more tonight at 10. You can also find updates on KRQE.com and the KRQE News app.